My name is Alex Casmet, and this is my presentation on fire. So what is a forest fire? You have three different types of forest fires. You have a ground fire, a surface fire, and a crown fire. Here at the top would be an example of a crown fire. The fire is extremely intense and is devastating to the ecosystem. It destroys all of the trees. Nothing lives. It's scorched earth. Here at the bottom you have an example of what would be called a surface fire. This fire is a low intensity fire that moves along the ground, getting rid of some of the leaf litter and the understory. So the purpose of this is basically the fire acts as a reset button. It provides nutrient cycling, it promotes new growth, and creates habitat for species that depend on these open areas in the forest. The act of fire destroying some of the plants, the understory, enriches the soil with nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, creating opportunity for new plants to come up, as well as the light that penetrates through after removing the competition for light. Some species are adapted to fire. For example, longleaf pine here in the bottom is a poster child of the fire adaptation. Longleaf pine has a unique life cycle in which it experiences what's called the grass stage, where it spends a few years in its juvenile stage as what looks to be a tuft of grass waiting for a fire to come through. And once the fire comes through, the longleaf pine shoots up, taking advantage of the additional nutrients in the soil and the additional access to light. It also has bark that is sufficient to resist fire. It has excess bark. There are also trees that have what are called serotinous cones, which depend on fire and heat to open the cones to release the seeds. Another example of the trees taking advantage of the access to nutrients and light to release their offspring. One issue in the U.S. is fire suppression. We have become very scared of fire as a society, and the whole Smokey Bear and Prevent Forest Fires has caused us to become in a situation where fires in forests are bad, and this is not the case. What happens whenever you suppress forest fires are the pictures you see here. You have scorched earth, you lose all of your trees. It's not the ideal situation. So what should we do? We should promote sound forest and land management by introducing these regular fires back into our ecosystem and focus on the fire mitigation and prevention over suppression, because eventually we will not be able to stop these fires. Thank you. This is my presentation.